Hi guys, thank you so much for your time. Welcome back guys. I'm doing this video under public demand because I have so many Kenyans who have been reaching me out. I think they are traveling to India. Some have already traveled or some they're planning to travel to India. So they feel like, oh Queen Obami, since you survived there, what can you tell us? Then I'm like, in fact, I'm that one person who like experiencing things by myself. Yeah, but I learned that there are some people it is good like to know the environment, at least to learn about the environment before arriving there. Yeah, so that's also good because at least you have an idea of where you are going. And trust you me, it's not easy. Like you are traveling from Kenya, you are going to stay in India. It is not easy, especially as like we don't use pepe, we don't use pilipili, we don't use pepper in our food. But when you go to India, I think the only thing that they don't put pepper, it is tea maybe and ice cream, but their main food they put pepper in it. So especially I understand people are going there, they're mostly traveling there to study, and you might find yourself staying in hostel. So if you're staying in hostel, we have other hostel, like they don't allow you to cook. So you can't go and buy suji. Suji is like unga ya ugali, like maize flour, where you can cook ugali, especially if you are Kenyan, and I think South Africans, they call it pap. So you don't have time, like you're not allowed to cook. It depends with the institution where you are going, with the campus where you are going. So some allow people to cook for themselves and some they don't allow people to cook. So you'll have to eat the food that they prepare in the hostel. And trust you me, if you're from East African where you don't use pepe or you don't use pili pili, it is gonna be so hard for you for your first days in India. And like someone like me, I don't use spices so much. So when I arrived there, mostly they use spices. So I also got a challenge adapting to their spices. But with the time, I think you just get used to it. So I don't have much to tell you guys. And the other experience, I just want you guys to go and learn for yourself. Like you just experience it for the first time. And the only advice that I can give you, of course, the requirements, you people, you have been directed by the High Commission here in Kenya. And if you're not from Kenya, in Uganda, wherever you are, you have been directed whatever you're supposed to do. And that one you have done it. I think that one there is no, unless if someone wants me to show them the process, but the process really, you get it from the commission, from the High Commission, I mean. So once you arrive in India, like me personally, I was in North India, so they speak Hindi, and surprisingly, we have some part of India they don't speak Hindi. Like we used to have some ladies from South India, they don't know Hindi. So when they come to North India, they used to speak English, and we even used to interact with them more than the Indians because, like, we had something in common. Like, we don't understand Hindi, so we used to interact with them because when they have to communicate, they have to speak in English also. Like, they were also foreigners in their own country. So that was so funny for me. And just one thing, once you arrive there, actually, I landed in Mumbai, and people there, the reception was good. Yeah, especially those people who operates at the airport there, their reception was good, and their people speak English. I also just want to tell you that don't expect like when you go, you'll find everyone they speak English. No, it's just like you coming to Kenya. We don't speak English as our mother tongue. We have Swahili as our national language. Yeah, so when you arrive there, maybe when you go to South India, they also have the language that they use. So they don't necessarily use English. So don't expect like when you arrive there, you'll speak English and everyone is going to understand you. No. So it's good once you arrive there. I didn't have much experience about the South India because when I once traveled there and they have their own language. So when you arrive in India, maybe to say, let's say that you are going to a place where they speak Hindi, just know namaste. Namaste is like you are greeting them. Once you tell them namaste, they'll stand and they'll reply to you. So at least they know, like, okay, you have an idea of their language. So they'll also reply namaste. Like where I used to stay in North India, and we used to have also greetings from Haryana, and we used to say Ram Ram. Yeah, so if I go to India, I'll say Namaste. And if I go to Haryana state, I can say Ram Ram, and people will still understand me. Those are the greetings. So once you just know Namaste, Namaste. And when you reach there, and then you see someone of the same age like you call them Didi. If they are ladies, you'd call them Didi to mean sister. Like in Kenya, we say Dada. Dada, namaste. Dadangu, habari yako. Like sasa you are bringing that relationship of sisterhood. So that lady, she will see you as her sister, and you just say, hi, Didi, namaste. Like dadangu, habari, like you are greeting that your sister. So she'll have to stand and say namaste Didi, and then you can ask the help. Maybe you want to go somewhere, then you can tell them you don't understand Hindi, so you can talk to English and they listen to you. Yeah, so you can just say namaste Didi, namaste. So when they start talking in Hindi, you tell them Hindi ni yapi. Like, I don't know Hindi ni yapi. I don't know how to pronounce, but it is like Hindi ni yapi bhaiya. Like, I don't understand Hindi, my brother. So bhaiya means brother. So if you see a man of the same age who is still young, maybe you just call them brother bhaiya. And then if you are seeing these people who are doing casual work, these people who are riding, they have rickshaw, they have what they carry people, the tuk-tuk guys, you can call them uncle. And if you have to add respect there, you say Uncle G. Yeah, Uncle G. Like if you go to the mess, you just say, call those people Auntie or Auntie G. And once you call to them, like, they'll just be happy and they're willing to help you. Yes, but don't expect like you'll go there and start speaking in English and then they understand you. No. So it is good to know, once you know their currency, the names of their currency, and how to count in Hindi, and how to greet in Hindi. You just have to know some basic Hindi words that will make you to survive there. Because I was in North India and they speak Hindi. So you have to know Hindi for you to survive in that environment. And that's how I survived. In fact, once you start making friends with them, they'll start teaching you Hindi. Yeah, so it is good to learn the language where you are going. Yeah, like when you are going to the shop, you want to buy something, you just has, Uncle G, kitna hai? Uncle, how much is this? And then they'll tell you, how much is this? And then they'll tell you. At least bring the environment so that they don't feel like you are new there. You know how new people, like even foreigners, are being treated. Like when you are going to buy something and then they know like you are a foreigner, you might even pay triple. But once you go there, you greet them, ram ram, namaste. They feel like, oh, this is a local, like he or she has been staying here for long. They'll just sell to you like they're selling to other people. That's what I can tell you guys. Just learn some little bit of their language that will help you to survive. Yeah, otherwise, it's a very nice country. I wish you all the best, those who are going. I just wish you all the best, those who are going. And I'm also planning to visit India soon, just to see friends, to visit friends. I have friends there. So I'm still planning on myself. And if you're just in India, you can just tag me where you are. Maybe when I visit there, I can come and say hi to you guys. Because me, India is like my second home. I feel like my honeymoon should be in Taj Mahal. Yeah. So I really miss India. So when we come back to food, you with the time you just have to understand. You just have to adapt their pepper thing. And because when I came back, I was used to that pepper to an extent. When I tasted Kenyan food, I was like, oh my god, this food is tasteless. Yeah, and this one asking if there is ugali there. There is something they call suji. I think I learned it is the flour that they used to make. They used to make biscuit with sweet, something like that. So when you buy that suji, you can cook it ugali of your own. That is pap or ugali of your own. So you can. There are chicken there, so don't worry for if you are a non-veg. But mostly, when what I learned when I was in North India, most of them they are vegetarian, but we still had non-veg hotels and restaurants. We have KFC, McDonald's, I think. McDonald's is there. Yeah. So just make sure you adapt the environment. About the weather, about the weather, I'll still prefer my Kenyan weather, like weather Kenya. Though there, what I really noticed is that when it is summer, it is extremely hot, and when it is winter, it is extremely cold. I remember we used to put on during winter time. We used to put on like 3 trousers when you are going to classes. Yeah, so we used to have uniform, and by the way, most of their campuses they do put on uniform, and that is something that I really admire today. And we used to have a conversation with one of the lecturers while I was there, and she told me like they implemented the uniform system so that once we all put on the uniform, like we'll be uniform. Like when I see Queen of Army, I'll not say like, okay, she's from first class family or she's from a lower caste or a high caste. Like no, we are all uniform. Once I just put on the uniform, it is me, Queen of Army. Like nothing to define me more than my uniform, because we are all uniform. Like we are all uniform from the word uniform. So that lecturer told me like when people start on putting on casual, like some people will be intimidated. Some people come from rich family. Even before the new the new trend arrive in India, maybe they had bought it while it is still in Canada or USA. They already they can afford it. But these people who are from poor family, maybe they're putting on the old fashions, so they'll feel intimidated. That's why they decided to put on uniform. So we used to put on same uniform. Yeah. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Those who have been who will be traveling, safe journey, and if you're there, also safe journey. And if it comes to culture shock, I think that is just a topic of its own. I have to admit that I faced culture shock, and I just feel like that is a topic of its own. I'll just have to talk about it. Yeah, so in my next video, I might talk about the culture shock. And once you go there, you have to register with FRO, and everything is okay. The universities are going to direct you on what to do, and you're just going to feel okay. And what I know nowadays, so many people are there. So many Africans are in India, even they're in North India, everywhere. Not like during our time. When I visited to North India, I think I was the first African in that campus. Before I was joined with the two Lesotho. They are called Basotho from Lesotho, actually. Yeah, so we were very less. But I pray that with the time, Nigerians used to be there. So many people, even we used to have parties for Africans. We used to travel. Like there's this VFI. When you join them, you'll meet so many Africans and Indians and foreigners. So it is just a fun, by the way. It is just a fun. And I know people you'll interact with more people, and with everything is just going to be okay. So all the best, and I feel like I need to prepare more about this topic. This was just an impromptu. I need to prepare more, and I'll still come back with it. Otherwise, bye. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You put on the notification bell. See you on the next video.